Okay, so now that we have our model uploaded to Google, let's go and let's start coding the Scratch part of this. So first, you're going to want to open up the Scratch web page. And remember that this is not going to be the normal Scratch web page. This is like a test version of Scratch, which allows us to use Google Teachable Machine. So unfortunately, you won't be able to log into your Scratch account here, and you do have to make sure you go to this other website. But it is still everything that Scratch allows you to do, plus a little bit more. So now that we have that Scratch website open, we're going to go back for a second to Teachable Machine. And we're going to make sure that we copy this link to our clipboard. This is what is going to actually give us the link to the model. Another thing that we're going to want to do is we're going to want to make sure that we turn our webcam input off on Teachable Machine before we start coding in Scratch. And this is because if you're trying to use a webcam inside of your web browser, it's only going to allow one tab at a time to actually use the webcam. So if Google Teachable Machine is using it, Scratch won't be able to use it and you won't get an image appearing in Scratch. So just make sure that you do hit that off button. This is also important if you're doing this virtually with people online. Make sure that before you go into either the Teachable Machine or the Scratch, that you have your webcam on like Zoom or something turned off. Okay, but we have our model link copied and we have our webcam turned off. So let's go into this Scratch version here. So what we're going to do is we are first going to go down into the very bottom left-hand corner here. And we are going to click on that add extension. And we're going to click on the first one, which is Google Teachable Machine. And you can see that this is going to actually give us a extra blocks that aren't normally included in Scratch. And you can see that after I've done that, if everything worked out right, you can actually see my image pop up kind of in the background of the Scratch window, which is exactly what you want to happen. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm actually going to click this sprite here. Can I not click on my sprite? Yeah, click on my sprite, and I'm going to move him just down into the bottom left-hand corner, just so you can see my lovely face twice here. And then I am going to go and I'm going to go to our trusty old events block with that red and green flag clicked. And then I'm going to go into Google Teachable Machine and I'm going to say use model and paste our model URL. So this is where you can paste it in. So remember, if you don't have that pasted, you can go to export model, click on copy your shareable link, and you're going to want to go and paste this into your Google Teachable Machine. And you see that right now, before I've done anything, there's a little orange exclamation mark in the corner here. And that is Google Teachable Machine saying that it doesn't have a model loaded right now. But we're going to use this use model block. I'm going to click on that green flag. It's going to run this piece of code here. And you can see that if things went correctly, so if you typed in or if you kind of copied in this link correctly and it is a real model, everything's working, you'll get a nice little green check mark there. So if yourself or you have kids where this isn't working, just make sure that they have that green check mark there and there aren't any typos or anything like that. Okay, so what we are going to do next is we are actually going to get our little thing here to be able to tell me what type of recycling it is. So what I am going to do is I am basically just going to say under the looks, I can just drag and drop in this say block and go into the Google Teachable Machine and it'll say, okay, so when I click on the green flag, it is now going to tell me what it sees in the picture. So let's see if this is doing it right. So this is garbage. Hey, look at that. That's working great. This is a can, which is fantastic. And I finally have my paper. And it says that it's paper. So this is great. Now you can see that right now, this is only running once whenever I click that green flag button. And you can start adding on this program in all sorts of ways. You can start interacting with it in all sorts of ways. And this is a really fantastic and fun activity to do with your class that you can also modify for like different image types and everything like that. So I'm just going to quickly show you how to extend this a little bit if you are interested. The first thing that I'm going to do is I am going to add in a little if statement here where I'm going to say, okay, I'm going to use an if and else. So I'm going to say if the prediction is garbage, then I am actually going to switch the costume to angry, and otherwise I want my costume to be happy. Actually, maybe, yeah, let's start with this. So you can see that now, if I hold up this to the screen, ooh, that should have worked. Oh, there we go. It does it after he says it, that's why. So you can see that what actually happened here is that it said what the model prediction was for 2 seconds. It actually waits 2 seconds on that block. So I'm actually just going to change the order of those two quickly. Let's try this one more time. Let's do a can this time. So this is a can. Hey, and he's happy because that's something that's recycling. But if it's garbage, he has a big frowny face. So you can do all sorts of things. You can start running any kind of code that you would run normally in Scratch. You can use if statements, you can use loops, you can start using whatever you want, and you can start using your webcam to actually interact and control the program, which is really, really interesting. So I hope you all learned something from this. This is a really cool activity that is lots of fun. And I hope that it helped you understand what machine learning is a little bit more and how it can be used.